Hello YouTube, Jamie here from FM Scout. Welcome back to a brand new series. Yes, I say series. If you guys remember last year, we did a Hidden Gems series on FM19 and it proved to be really popular. You guys really enjoyed it. And I'm going to bring it back for FM20, but we're going to keep it going for the entire length of FM20. I'm not going to say there's going to be a video every day on it, because it does take me time to find these bargains. So last year it was called FM19 Hidden Gems. This year it's called FM20 Hidden Gems, the best football manager bargains. So a lot of the comments last year was kind of like, well, it's hidden gems, but a lot of people knew who they was. So these are also bargains. So I'm going to kind of mix it up. So we're going to have, some players who's free transfers. We're going to do 10 players per video. So a few is going to be a free transfers, maybe one or two. We're going to have some players who's going to cost 100 to 500k, and then some players who's going to cost 2 to 5 million, and then maybe a player who's going to cost 5 to 10 that you may not have heard of in a league that again you may not be familiar with. And like I say, it's very good for the new guys who's looking at you take over a championship club or a lower league Premier League club. You haven't got the money, you can't spend £50 million on a player, and you're looking for someone who's going to perform. And yeah, so let's get right into it. So the first player is going to be a Danish guy who I'm hearing very good reports, and its name's Carlo Helse. I think that's how you say it. FC Copenhagen. This guy is 20 years old. Now, a lot of people keep telling me about this guy, and for the price that you pay, I'd like to say this video isn't based on the best players in the world. This is based on bargains that you can get cheap and potentially sell on. But this guy looks really incredible. If you're kind of a lower league team, I would definitely look at going for this guy. I mean, his VAR at 750k, his stats are really good, and you could potentially get him in the Premier League. He's only on 1.8k per week. So if we look at this, he is wanted by a few clubs, as you can see. Now, you guys need to help me out and let me know in the comments if you've heard of these players, if you've signed these players on FM20. Please let me know in the comments. I do like to look through them. If you sign a player and it turns out terrible, I want to know. So do let me know. But if we try and bid for this guy, of course, we're going to show you how much it's going to cost. But if we look at suggest terms, 3.2 million. So obviously, if you negotiate, you could probably get that down to about 2.5 to 2 million, which for that caliber is incredible. So that is the first player, Carlo Helse at FC Copenhagen. Moving on to number 2 is Bruno Ramirez. So Bruno Ramirez at Athletico Peron, Athletico, that team. So this guy's slightly more higher. So he's 12.25 million value. Estimated cost 11 to 22. Wage demands are quite high. So if you're looking for a bargain in the maybe a lower league Prem team, you've got about 20 million to spend. This is a guy you seriously need to bring in his stats for a box to box, and I stress that emphatically. Box to box is very hard to find, as everybody knows who plays Football Manager. It's one of the most difficult positions to find, even as regens. So this guy is very good. I've never heard of him personally. If you make an offer for him, it's going to cost you in the region of 18. Again, if you negotiate, you could probably get it down to 15, and they accept that. Maybe a little bit lower as well if you do a bit more negotiating. But again, this guy looks very good, and you're going to he's only 21, so you're going to make some money. The next player, number 3, is Tousart. This guy I've been hearing very good things about as well. Very cheap. So this guy is 6.5 million, 31k per week. Ball-winning midfielder. Can play quite a lot of positions at DM, and can also play quite a lot of positions at centre mid as well. So mentally, an absolute beast. Physically very good as well. He kind of natural ball-winning midfielder, really. Very good at tackling, aggression's high, bravery is good. But this guy, if you was to bid for this guy, going to cost you in the region of 16 million. Again, if you negotiate, you could potentially get it down to 10 if you try. 13. So you could probably get this guy for 10 million, 11 million, which is very good. Always negotiate, by the way. If you are new to FM, always negotiate. And the next one is for maybe you kind of lower league guys. Now, this guy was very popular on FM19. I'm not sure if anyone's heard of him. Honestly, I've never heard of him until this year. I, for some reason, never used him, but I was looking at a few comments and stuff, and people was telling me that he was kind of a go-to guy for a lot of people. So let me know in the comments if you signed this guy before. Like I say, I've never used him before, but it's actually a player at Shamrock Rovers, a winger. And when you look at his stats and his value and his wage, that has got to be classed as a hidden gem, right? Or a bargain, whatever you want to call it. They're kind of the same thing. But yeah, 150k. I don't know what league you could potentially get this guy in. Obviously, this guy has played for Oldham before. He has played in England. He's been in Scotland, now is in Ireland. So it's a bit of a weird one. I mean, if you try and bid for this guy, it's going to cost you 275k. So I want you guys to let me know. I mean, I don't know what you could actually get it down to. If we try, let's try maybe 150, see if we can get that down. At 275. Okay, so that is still very low for a player of that caliber with his stats, essentially. But let me know if you've used this guy before. Moving on to the next one is Mohammed Jeremy. This guy right here is another player at Copenhagen. So Copenhagen seem to have them players who are very low on wages. They've got very good ability. So Mohammed Jeremy is a striker. So if you're looking for a striker, he's very fast. I mean, he's not an all-round player, as you can see, but he's got acceleration, he's got pace, potentially maybe to be used in the Championship. I'm not entirely sure. But he is currently wanted by Manchester United, which says a lot. Whether he'll come to the Championship, I'm not entirely sure. But if you are struggling for that maybe second choice, you want to kind of bring into the first team, maybe as an impact sub, as a big club, you could do that. If we try and make an offer for this guy, I've heard of this guy before, by the way. He's not really hidden to me. But anyone who doesn't know him, going to cost you around 2.5 million. So let's say 2 million is a very good signing for that guy. 17 as well, bit of potential. Moving on to the next one is Rick van Drongelen. This guy is a centre back at Hamburg. So this guy is very, very strong for his stats. If you look at his stats, 15 tackling, 15 marking, 17 bravery, 17 determination, and 16 strength. Is a typical no-nonsense centre back. I wouldn't necessarily use him that much. I mean, to be fair, even as a ball-playing defender, I'm just looking at his first touch, but everything else is fine. So he can play all three kind of roles, which is very good. And the reason we've picked this guy is because he only costs literally £5 million, which is very, very good. As a backup player, Dutch, 20 years old, 13 under 21 caps. This is a player you need to bring in if you're struggling with finances and you need to get a nice little bargain. Moving on to the next one, Pacom Zuzu. This guy is another free transfer, actually, 22 years old. This guy looks very strong. I mean, looking at his teams he's been at, I don't recognise anyone apart from Sparta Prague. But he is currently wanted by, I don't know who they are either, some Saudi Arabian teams. But again, his stats look very good. If he was to make a approach to sign for this guy, going to cost you about 120k per week. Okay, that can't be right. Okay, you guys may have to test this for me because that seems a lot of money. Right, you guys, that's your mission. That can't be right. 120k a week? That must be down to some sort of... yeah, I think that's down to the... sorry. So that's kind of a new thing. It's not a new thing, but there's some players that you have to give them a certain amount so they can get a work permit. So, if you're in like Portugal, like England's going to be very difficult to get this guy unless you've got... Let's load him back up. So yeah, in England it's going to be very difficult to get this guy. But if you're kind of a foreign team who doesn't really focus on foreign players' rules, then this is the guy you could bring in. I'm assuming if I was in Portugal and I bid for this guy, he wouldn't want 120k a week. He'd probably want like 2k or something. So yeah, maybe check that guy out. The next one, Kostas Timikas. This guy right here is a left-back at Olympiacos, 23 years old, natural wing-back on attack. Again, stats I think is good enough for the Premier League. If you can get him in the Championship, if you've got a bit of money, definitely go for this guy. He looks very good. Wages are very low. This is why I like these type of players. But if you try and make an offer for this guy, 1.9 million, which is very, very good. I keep saying that word very, very good because it excites me when I see players like this. I don't know if it does anybody else. Maybe it's just me. But on the next one, Gonzalo Villar. This guy right here is a centre midfielder, Elk, I don't know how you say that. But this guy, again, 550k value, 3.8k, lots and lots of abilities in terms of roles. Very good stats, 16 passing, what you need. Championship, definitely, if you can get him in. Make an offer for him, 550k value, 1.9 release clause as well. Going to want 500k for him with a friendly. Absolute bargain. And the final one is Jose Pozo. This guy is a player, a striker. He can kind of play all along, actually. Inverted winger as well. 2.9 million value at Rayo Valenco. Rayo Valenco, I'm not even sure how you say that. But yeah, this guy is very, very strong. Acceleration's good. Good stats, especially if you can get him. He might cost you a little bit more. He's got a release clause of 7.2. Not sure if they'll want that. They want 3.5, which is still very, very low for a player to kind of fill the team. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you've enjoyed the video. There will be some more. This is episode 1. There will be another 10 players coming on episode 2 very shortly. Like I say, I just want to find these players. But if you've enjoyed it, please drop a like on the video. The likes help out more than you believe. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.